This is video number 2 on changes, modifications made to our bug out strategy. The first video showed you this pack, and what I've done here is I've just taken everything out of the pack. To make it easier, I did not want to waste time unpacking it when I can just go over the items that are inside it. So to begin with is a solar panel. This is a 12 volt trickle charger for a 12 volt battery, and what I've done is I've gotten a bag full of adapters here so I can recharge my light, and I can also make colloidal silver in the field. I'll go over that. And these are all the adapters necessary. If you have questions on what those are, I'd be happy to show those to you, but I'm not going to waste any time covering every detail. So this is a water capture cotton wool sock. So if you're in an area, say a deep hole or a steep embankment, you can tie this to paracord, saturate it with water, pull it up and squeeze it into a cup. Good pair of gloves here. A passive communication device, radio, for listening to events. If it's a national emergency, if it's a natural disaster, you can find out what's going on, and you can determine if it's propaganda or if it's true information. This is a cook kit here. Take this off. I purchased this at an Asian variety store. So you would put your tinder, your wood or coal inside here. And then I fashioned a couple of skewers so that you can adjust the height on your pot so you can boil water, cook food. And these are the utensils for that. Utensil, leave that here. You can never carry too much salt. A war was fought over salt. It was called the Salt Wars. And not because they wanted it for spice. There's so many good uses for salt, but your body needs salt, especially in a stressful situation where you may be exerting a lot of energy from your body. You need salt. You need to maintain that. Here is a map. This is part of the next video, or there may be 2 more videos to follow, just short videos on our bug out strategy. This container has all of the hygiene items. So I have iodine, I have colloidal silver, I have toothbrushes, I have a repair kit for sewing. There's also an epoxy for any metal breaks. It's a good metal epoxy. I have a bar of colloidal silver soap. Maybe 1 or 2 more items in here. Anyway, that's a good repair kit. I also have a coarse salt and pepper mixture for spices. And now the medical items, compressed gauze, compression sleeve, colloidal silver spray, some tape, scissors, Tylenol. I've also have a roll of gauze there, and eye patch. This is a emergency suture kit, non-sterile, so I would have to boil everything. This allows you to do an emergency suture in the field. I also carry Gold Bond body powder. If you have a rash in the wrong area, it could stop you in your tracks, so that'll help prevent that. Also a emergency blanket and Band-Aids of all sizes. Another important part of the medical is activated carbon. You can purchase this as carbon that you would find at Walmart for a fish aquarium. You put it inside a blender and you make a fine powder out of it. It becomes a anti-poison agent. You can, say for example, you have bad food, and about 20-30 minutes after you consume it, you know it was bad. You take about a tablespoon or 2 of that, and it will depoison your stomach, and it might help save your life. This is also good for any deep cuts and wounds where you need to clot. So you can put this in as an anti-clotting agent. A lot of good uses for this. You can brush your teeth with it. That's what I do, in fact. And I've got some hydrocortisone and some iodine for water purification or for wounds. Also a very big bandana. Scrub the pot scrubber, extra knife. This here is for the cooking pot. This is silicone. It's a very good heat insulator, so I can hold the pot with that and not burn my hand. Okay. Also, another secondary pot that I fashioned out of a can of beans. It's got a nice patina. Part of that was I coated it with oil, and you treat that like you would cast iron. You bake it on in the stove. But this is good for cooking rice or beans. Have a lot of lighters and some waxed candle. Also, a lot of cotton balls that have been soaked in Vaseline. So you can never carry too many lighters, in my opinion. Very handy. A couple of carabiners. Colloidal silver. I carry this glass jar. I wrap it in a good thick sock so it doesn't break, but it's inside a hard shell. So, but this is what you need to make colloidal silver in the field. Now, colloidal silver, if you have not done so, you should study the antibiotic properties of colloidal silver. It's an antibacterial, antimicrobial, and it's very easy to make in the field with a solar panel. So that's why I have this here. If you can see the two solid silver wires on top, and then it's got the alligator clips, and that's how you would connect to your solar panel. Another reason for the solar panel is to recharge this light here. So it's a rechargeable, this is an outdoor light. What I love about this light is how bright it goes. Let's turn this on here. I love this big switch, so if I have my gloves on, I can reach up. And that's the low setting, and that's the high setting. So it's a very bright light. But I find that the low setting is adequate for most nighttime applications. If I left it on high, it would drain the battery in about 3 hours. So if you leave it on low, you can get about 8 hours of use before you have to recharge it. And paracord, also a water filter here. Okay, I carry toothpicks. It goes with my cooking stuff, just because I want to. All right, so I wanted to spend a little time on the distiller. This is something that was trial and error for a long time before I came up with a design that actually works. Well, not sufficiently, but it works quite well. It's very efficient. That was the word I was looking for. So let me go over the components. This is the water capture. This is an aluminum container. So when I carry this, I empty the water out, but I always carry it full. And so I'm not wasting any space. And then this is a hose adapter, and it's threaded perfectly for this. So, you know, I would screw that on, not all the way because I don't want it to be airtight, but at least 2 threads. So if there were any remaining steam, it could still escape because you don't want to blow up your system. So how this works is you would fill this up about 80%, which exceeds the capacity of the smaller container. This is a dirty container, so you could put any type of water in here basically, and it's going to filter out. It's going to distill that water. So that could be brackish water, salt water. It could be urine. And then I have silicone grade tubing, which goes up here. It goes through a coil condenser, and then more silicone grade tubing. Now, I have a system set up where I can go directly here, and that makes it very convenient. If you did not have such a system, all you need is a little fresh water in the bottom of any container, and you just put this below that water level, and that's going to capture your steam. So that's an alternate method. That's what I would do if I didn't have this bottle. And that's going to allow you to do a direct conversion, so you're not losing water due to steam. So this is a very efficient, I have used it before, and it's a very efficient way to distill water. Again, for making colloidal silver. That's the only reason basically that I have this. Secondary is if I do run out of fresh water to drink, I would distill my own water. Although it does take time to do that. So, but as a last resort, that's what I would have. Okay, so the pack itself, I'm gonna take this off here. This is an Army sleep system, and the pack, I don't mind if I drop it because I can repair it, but you might recognize this. It's just a tool container, but all of that gear right there fits inside here. The entire weight of the pack is 30 pounds on the nose, and it goes onto an aluminum frame. Now, the name of this is not coming to mind, but this is the old Vietnam pack that the military used. And I purchased this at a Goodwill store years ago, and I think I paid $10 or whatever it was, but it did have the pack on the back. So I came up with this configuration because it's what I prefer. And down here I've added a nice leather work belt that cinches it up around my waist. I also have a K-bar knife. The orange tourniquet kit is right there for easy access. And over here is the compass. So this is the pack. Now, in addition, I carry a blue pack here. This blue pack has got 1 day of food. It's got a canteen of water, and it's got another fire starter kit inside here. It doesn't weigh anything. I just throw that on before I put my pack on. So this covers it. I want to make this video short and just cover really what is inside the pack. And then tomorrow I will get to the bug out cart. And that's just got more food, and it's got more things to survive on. So this is somewhat of a long-term survival. It's got the water distillation capability, which allows you to just make your own fresh water if you have to. It's got a viable means of producing colloidal silver, which, please do your research. This is a very good antibiotic to have. Antimicrobial, antibacterial. It was used before the 1940s, before antibiotics, and it was good all the way up until then. Antibiotics were far superior, which is why colloidal silver fell out of favor. However, that does not mean that it's not effective. Next video is the bug out cart. This is a Cold War sailor out.